guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the book Atomic Habits from James Clear, and I'm really excited to share our impressions with you about this awesome book. So this book is about how you create the habits you need to have in order to become the person you want to be. And for me, it was like not too much new information because I'm already really familiar with that topic because I use it a lot in my coaching approach with my clients. But to have all of this knowledge collected in one book is what I really loved, because I learned all the different things and got all the different techniques and ideas about how you create habits from like different resources. But this book, and that's what James also says in the beginning of his book, it's like not any like new approach, but he combined all of the ideas and insights about how to create habits in that one book.
Exactly. And I agree with all that that you said, because that's also how I saw it myself as I was listening to this video. I didn't actually have the physical book. So for those of you who are considering taking a look into this book, you can also listen to it. And the guy that narrates it, the author himself, he narrates this book. And you know, there's a lot of you watching this video, hey, another book about building habits, right? So there's plenty of those out there. Why should I read this one? Well, honestly, I've also fallen into that category, into that, okay, why should I read another book about building habits? I'll tell you why, really. There's so many messages in this book, right, Xenia? And one of the first ones, it's like, the book starts with saying, hey, you know, it's good to have goals. Everyone has a goal, but just writing a goal alone will not help you actually achieve it. What you need to write down actually is have a system, right, that will help you achieve that goal that you have. So we're all just told every day, have a goal, you know, to be financially free, have a goal to be a better person, etc., etc. But then, okay, you write it down, but then how to achieve it? So this book tells you how you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I hear the quote or see it really often on Instagram. It's like, your daily habits create your future. And that's what is exactly said in that book. It's necessary to have goals and to have a vision, but in order to create them, like you said, you need to start with these habits. And what I also really loved that was pointed out in the beginning was that the problem with creating habits is that you don't see like the effect of the habits right away. It's like going to the gym, like you need to go a certain amount of time until you see the results. And that's why it's really hard for us humans to stick to that. I mean, once you created that habit, it gets done subconsciously, so you don't need to think about it. But until you come to that point, it's really hard, because our brain is wired in a way that if we do something, we need the reaction like immediately, either a reward or a punishment. That's why it's so easy to condition itself. But it's so hard like to create habits that will bring you to your goal in the long-term run, because your brain does not, or sometimes it gets like punishment or bad feedback because it feels bad in that moment, because it's a new thing and a new habit, and we love, or like our brain loves to be in our comfort zone. So we need to push, and not just once, but over and over again until we have that habit created.
Yeah. You know, when I heard that part of the book, it's like, yeah, it makes sense. I'm like, why am I eating veggies when I don't see the results like right away, man? Like with coffee, like what I'm drinking right now, it's like my brain is sort of telling me, yeah, you're gonna get so forth, you're gonna get more energy, you know, even an energy drink. Now you get the immediate effect, but the things like eating healthy, like eating your veggies, or just working out one day and then you hope to have the, you know, in my case, I want to have bigger abs, right? Or bigger arms. It's like, I don't see it. Like, you gotta wait, right? And then they talk about that part that as well. Just to add to what you said there, Xenia, another thing that I liked about this book, and I think another reason why a lot of people should look into this book, is they give this example in this book, and I'm not explaining too many things when I say this. It's in order to, okay, you have your goal, you have your system on, how you're going to get to it, but then there's another like third way, and that is really the identity change, how you view yourself when you're doing these things, right? So it was so funny enough, Sanya, when we decided to read this book, right? Because when we decided to read this book, that's when I decided to also just go back into my regular routine of working out. Like I wrote it down specifically when I'm gonna wake up, when I'm gonna do my workouts and everything. And, I was just like forcing myself to it, right? I think a lot of people do that too, because, you wanna get healthier, you wanna live longer. For me, it's just, come on, I have a room to do it. And the book here tells you, don't like do things because you think you have to, right? But think of it like, what do you want to be, Juan? And I'm like, well, I want to be a healthy guy, All right, so then what does a healthy guy do? They eat healthier, right? They work out, and bam. So every time now I wake up and I'm like, when I don't want to do something, it's like, well, I'm a healthy guy. Healthy guys do this. So I just go ahead and do it. And the example that the book they gave was about the person that smokes and the person that quit smoking. So one person A, just for this example, that would say, you give a cigarette to person A, and then this person would say, oh, no, thanks, I'm trying to quit, right? And then you give a cigarette to person B, and then person B responds by saying, oh, no, thanks, I'm not a smoker. And just that little switch right there. One considers himself, I still view myself as someone that smokes, right? And I'm trying to change that. But then the other person says, I'm just not a smoker. I just don't do it. I don't even think about it, and you can apply that little tweak to too many things, I think, in your life to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. I mean, did you also like that part about the book, Senya?
Yeah, I love this part because I think that's the biggest game changer. I mean, later on, he talks about the four laws of behavior change, and that's also like really, really important. But I think the most like fundamental thing is really the embodiment part, because like so many of us don't achieve certain things because we don't believe we can. And that also comes from that. It's like, oh, I would like to like work out every day because I know it's good because I want to be healthy. But in your subconscious, you're like, oh, but I'm not a sporty person. And then you sabotage yourself because of your subconscious belief.
Exactly.
That's exactly what needs to happen there. And I made the experience for myself. If I start to believe that, and I do that with affirmations. So I regularly think about like, who do I want to be? And what do I need to believe or embody that I can become that person? And then I use that as like a list of kind of like future Xenia, and then really go through it like affirmations and remind myself that I train my subconscious, that I believe that. Because let's be for real, that will not happen overnight. You will not wake up and be like, oh, I'm not a smoker anymore, or I'm a healthy person, or I'm a sporty person. In the beginning, your mind will scream at you and will be like, oh my gosh, like, you're a liar. You're not like a healthy or sporty person. But the more you tell yourself that, and then also like start doing the right things, you will prove yourself wrong. And that's also what he said, is like proving yourself that you're really going to do that over and over again. So I really love that. And then when he later comes, or like the main part of the book is the 4 laws of behavior change. And I really love the hands-on advice and also the materials he talks about. You can use like with the habit stacking and everything.
I think that in addition, because also when you do that, I think the book also said like, then when you actually do, like when you say, I'm a sporty person or I'm a healthy person, right? And then you actually eat your veggies, then later you have proof, hey, I have proof that I am a healthy person. And so you do this a second time, there's a second proof. And then it just builds up and builds up. And then you're there, you can say it, hey, look, you're saying it to yourself first, right?
Yeah.
That's yeah. And then as you then other people see that too, because then did you also what, like for example, when you go for a run, it gives you in some apps, it gives you the option, hey, you can make it live so that people can cheer you and look at you. So that's also proof. Hey, look, you're telling the world I am this person, you know, and then people then see that's like, yeah, this guy's that. And then next time they see you, hey, there's a proof you did it. I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, we could talk about nonstop because I mean, Sanya, you have so many notes on this book, you said, right? I have so many, and really just not to make this video too long. Why should they get this book? If you top reason for you, Sanya, why should people just get this book like right now?
The top reason for me is the hands-on advice on how you can make that behavior change, because of like I mentioned it, the 4 laws of behavior change. And it's really like hands-on advice first on like what the laws are, and then some tips and tricks how you more or less can trick your brain to adapt these changes. And these are so valuable because, like we already talked about, it's one thing to say, oh, I want to reach this goal and I want to create that habit, but to really do it, you more or less need to trick your brain, because you don't see like positive results right away, just if you just do that. And with these hands-on tricks and tips, that's really the collection of everything we know so far, or at least what I knew so far about how to create habits. And I think if you can pick at least a few cherries from what will work for you, or try the different approaches, that will you want to be. What about you?
I love when you call them cherries. You're a cherry person. I call them golden nuggets. I like chicken nuggets. That's why.
Yeah, everyone has his preferences.
Yeah. So out of all the tips that are out there, and for anyone wanting to if you're trying to build a habit, right? Whether it is you want to buy your first property for this year, start your business, or go on a diet and everything, right? So what a lot of us tend to do is just do a lot of research, right? And we research how we can do this, what's the best way to do something, right? And then we do these things because then we're thinking to ourselves, hey, we're doing something because we're planning, right? Or we're doing the research. And then we take the action. And then what this book will help you realize, because it helped me realize as well, is that actually that's just if we do this for a long time, then it's just procrastination. It's not actually planning and strategizing is great in everything, right? If you want to build a habit, you want to write down and everything how to do it, all you're doing is just strategizing. But if you actually want to build a habit, want to take action, read the book, because they will tell you so many great tips on how you can start taking action. Not forget about the strategizing part. They'll tell you exactly what you need to do to take action so you can get the results that is exactly what you want, right? So that would be the big reason why you should read this book. That's basically what I got. So we did it. Okay, I think that's all for this book review.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your takeaways, your why you really like the book. And yeah, I'm so happy that we did another review and that we read this book. This is really something hands-on, life-changing. And if you guys like it and want to hear more of our reviews, don't forget to click the subscribe button. And if you have any comments, thoughts on the book, questions, whatever comes up, feel free to put them in the comment. And we're happy to talk to you next week in our next review.
Any questions you guys have, just write them to us as well. You know, Sanya is an entrepreneur herself, and I'm also an investor. So those are the topics that we also like talking about. If that's something you like, again, just message us, and then we'll be more than happy to talk to you. So the next video, we see each other.
Bye, guys.